Have you heard of junk volume? If you're a lifter, you might be doing it and you don't even know it. In this video, we're going to talk about what junk volume is, different ways it can happen, and how you can avoid it. Welcome to my channel. I'm Tammy from liftingmyspirits.com, and I create resources for women who are a little bit older and getting started with weight training. Before we talk about junk volume, we need to talk about volume. Volume is a metric to calculate how much work you've done. So if you do a certain exercise, you're going to do a certain number of sets, and each set will have a certain number of reps, and you're going to use a weight. Multiply those three numbers together and that gives you the total amount of work you've done. So 3 sets of 10 reps using 20 pounds, 3 times 10 times 20 is 600. So that is 600 pounds of volume. How you split that volume up matters. So to give you an idea of what I mean by that, let's take that same 600 pounds of work. There's different ways you can break this up. So let's say somebody goes for 1 set with 2 reps with 300 pounds. Now for them, if they can do that and it works, it'll be great. But for someone else, if that's too heavy, then it ends up just being dangerous. You may get hurt or you may not even be able to do it at all. Somebody does 6 sets of 20 reps with 5 pounds. All of that's going to multiply together to be 600 pounds too, but the 5-pound weight might be too light. You might just be moving things around and getting wear and tear on your joints without really causing the stimulus you need. But the volume is the same as the one before. And now here's something else with the same volume was the example we talked about a minute ago. 3 sets, 10 reps, and 20 pounds. Again, all of these have the same volume, but they have completely different stimuluses. What is junk volume? Any work you do that does not produce results. And there's 4 different ways it could be in your workout program, and we're going to talk about all 4 of them. Junk sets, junk reps, junk exercises, or junk quantity. What are junk sets? Any set that you do that does not get close to failure. I want to clarify here. Failure is when you can't do one more rep. That's not something we recommend that you do, especially if you're lifting by yourself. It is truly failure. If you get to failure, you have stimulated that muscle as much as you possibly can. So that's like max stimulus. What you want to do is stop that set when you are 2 to 4 reps before failure. Let me give you an example to get an idea of what this failure thing is like. If you're doing leg extension and you know you can do 10 reps, but you can't do 11, and you do 7 reps, that's a good set because that gives you like 3 short of failure. But if you were to get on that leg extension at that weight and only do 4 reps, when you know you can do 10, then that's a junk set. So you didn't do enough to be able to cause the stimulus to get stronger. Okay, junk reps. They're just bad reps. It's like if the form is bad, if there's too much momentum, if it's a partial rep and you're not doing a full range of motion, you're kind of cheating it up a little bit or not moving it completely, then that would be called a junk rep. If you're not doing the movement properly, you're probably not stimulating the right muscles. Junk exercises. That one does feel kind of judgmental, doesn't it? What it means is that if you're doing an exercise and you are not hitting the muscles that you want to target, that would be a junk exercise. That's not something that's a universal truth for everybody. We're all different. Our bodies are put together a little different. The geometry is a little different from one person to the next. If it's a bad exercise for you, just replace it. If it's an exercise that you want to explore a little bit more, one thing you should do is check your form. It's possible that the exercise is perfectly fine, but there's something that needs to be tweaked with your form so that you'll feel it where you want to feel it. Let's say you're doing a tricep push down with a rope and you're not feeling it in your triceps, but you're feeling it in the front of your shoulders, then you may want to check your form. One that I think is a lot more common than people realize is junk quantity. And it has to do with people being super motivated. Their exercises are fine, their reps are fine, their sets are fine, but too many exercises per workout for each body part. And that just increases the number of sets that are done for each body part, and it increases the volume. And a lot of that is just junk volume because it's wasted, going beyond stimulus at that point. There has been so much research that has confirmed that lifters need to do somewhere between 10 and 20 sets per week per body part. If you're doing more than 20 sets, that might be too much. I'm really glad you're lifting because it's going to help you keep your muscle as you get older. But if you're dieting to lean out a little bit, you run the risk of losing that muscle, and that's just as bad as junk volume. All that work just gone. To lose fat but keep muscle, should you track macros or calories? Watch this video next.